pissing me off, man.
Better be pissed off than pissed on.
No, I should ask R. Kelly about that. Oh, man. I'm just going to jump right out of the chat and say hi to everybody tonight because my fingers were getting sore and tired. You know, I'll save that for a little bit later.
Yep.
My homie, my home dog, Jason Johnson's in the chat. I thought I seen the Jesus fish in here somewhere. Jesus Tilapia is in the chat tonight. Anthony, Marino, Zaz, Baked Potato Food Truck. That's awesome, by the way. Yeah. That should be a real thing.
He's supporting the truck convoy. He's supporting the truck convoy.
Totally support the potato movement.
Yeah.
And Za as well, which, by the way, we're going to get him on the show one of these days. Number one guest, straight to the top.
Isaiah.
Maybe not. Mm-hmm. Hey, truck time. Will, Jason.
Chilled guy.
So
real quick, guys, don't forget the website's booming. We got lots of foot traffic going on there.
Oh, here.
Huge grand opening.
Wait.
It's been fantastic. It's just blowing up all over the world. So make sure you go there. HVACOvertime.com. Check out our swag. We added a funky new little design. If you watched last week's show, you'll know about it.
Bill, are you gonna put like a second option for quality of the t-shirt? The sweaters are nice, what I'm hearing, but the t-shirt you can have two options: better quality and work quality. Or
we could. I mean, if we actually sell some t-shirts to anybody besides the four of us. I mean, I've given away more shirts than I've sold. So
yeah, in the past,
we have. I don't know. I actually the standard one we have now, the whatever it is, the whatever model t-shirt is, I actually don't mind it. Fits good, doesn't shrink when I wash it. It's the collar is just the right dimension around my neck. Like, since Chris isn't here, I can complain about his shirt. The one thing I don't like about his shirt is like the collar feels like it's so big. Like the one day I put it on, I was like, is this shirt upside down? Because the collar felt so big.
This one's
look at that.
Is it? I don't mind. I don't mind it. I don't like.
I like a nice,
collars.
tight, stiff collar. You know, I like to feel like I'm being choked all day.
So I'm gonna be the devil's advocate for Chris. I like it. So
I like it's not a bad shirt. It's just I don't know. I don't like showing off my whole neck all the time. It's weird.
Joe's like the V-neck guy, you know.
Yeah, that's true.
And he's skin exposed.
You gotta watch out that shirt, it took Chris about 9 months of going through different variations to pick out the exact shirt.
Oh, that's why I waited till he was gone to get that off my chest. Now that that's off my chest, yeah.
Where's Chris, by the way?
Carry on.
Maybe some guys don't know.
He's at the Ass Hats reunion.
Oh, okay.
AHR.
Gotcha.
Well, he's not there right now, I don't think. He's actually in Vegas, getting ready to go there. He's in a honeymoon suite, pineapple suite with his old lady.
Oh, speaking of
his old lady and a couple friends, I assume.
I'm drinking my tea out of a cup dedicated to Chris.
Pina colada. Awesome. Should dump out a pineapple for our homie.
Yeah. Mine's labeled coffee, just in case I forget.
That's a good point, Will Speed. Who can see my neck with the beard? I get it. That makes sense. I actually have tattoos on the front of my neck. So that's one of the reasons I have a beard. But no, Southeast Texas Sirens and Rail. Clive's not going to be on this week. We'll have him on again soon. He's a very dear friend of the show. We love talking to Clive.
Yep. VIP.
We are going to have another super special guest on tonight.
Who's that?
Yeah.
Should we say or just wait till a little bit later?
We'll surprise him.
When the smoke and the mirrors and the sparklers are done blowing around.
It's been a while. That sounds pretty good, actually.
I think it's been well over a year, huh?
Wow.
Yeah. Wow. Feels like it's been about a year. So, this is the longest I've been able to talk without you guys interrupting me with one of your hydronic stories. So I'm going to keep up this momentum.
Yeah,
jump right into something.
It's because Chris isn't here.
Our best guest.
True. Yeah. Chris sometimes forgets that there's other people in the
world. You guys. How about our guest in the world there, bud?
Chris called me this week to tell me one of his awesome stories. And I remember the day vividly because it was 3 days ago, but I remember it vividly because Chris called. And I was in the middle of one of these days where I'm just getting obliterated by phone calls. I must have like 37 phone calls, and I just ignored literally 2 phone calls. And then my phone rang again. I'm like, oh my God, who the fuck is calling me now? And I look down, it's Chris. I'm like, okay. So I answer it. I'm like, I'm only answering it because you're a superstar. And he told me a story about some Delfield stuff in a fun remodel. I don't want to spoil his story, but yeah. No, actually what I wanted to jump into and talk to is something I've been kind of flustered with all week, besides having my introvert battery drained. Are you guys introverts or extroverts?
I think introverts.
I think it depends on who I'm around.
Yeah. I am 100% an introvert. I can pretend to be an extrovert and just use up all the energy I have in me to actually get along with society and like make the people around me feel better about themselves to an extent. And then I'm just done. I'm just drained. And today at like 4 o'clock, I got to walk in for a beer cooler service call, right? And I go out there, and the job was cool. It's a cool place, and it wasn't that big of a deal. It's just a bad thermostat. But I remember specifically at the end of the day, my battery is drained. I've talked to so many people today. I can't stand talking to anybody else. And I come out of this walk-in cooler, and it's at a bar because it's a beer cooler.
Oh no.
And I come out of the cooler, and there's like a drunk guy, and he's there, and he sees the name of my company on my hoodie, and he says it, and I look down, I'm like, oh, yeah, that's I guess you're right, yeah, that's it. And I start walking. He's like, I remember I used to work at this one place, and I used to do a little bit of heating and air myself, because of course everybody that I've ever seen in a bar who's seen me that realizes I do heating and air of some capacity, they've obviously done it as well, and they have to tell me their story about it. Anyway, this guy was no exception, and he's going on about he used to do this and this. I'm really not paying attention because I got shit to do and I want to get out of there. And it's like 5:30, and he's telling me about this company he used to work for, and it was a big company. They had a in-house electrician and a plumber, and he's telling me about the electrician. He's like, it was one day the electrician had the secretary on the back of his motorcycle, and I'm like, well, is there a desk there? I mean, why else would she be on the back of his motorcycle? This sounds like a horrible story. He's like, well, I don't know. But then he goes on with the story. He was just obviously not listening to anything I said. He just waited for me to stop talking.
He don't care.
He didn't care. He didn't care at all. Then he's telling me something about the electrician was driving the bike and something happened, deer ran out or whatever, and he crashed the bike. The secretary died. And I'm thinking this whole time, like, I don't know who you are, let alone anybody in your goddamn story. We just shut. I wish a meteor would come down through the roof and hit you in the face so you would stop talking, because this is horrible.
So anybody that talks to
regret
Bill,
this.
eh? That's what
I
he's thinking about,
regret just stopping. I should have just ran when you started telling me a story. I should have faked a seizure or something to get
Fake
away
a
from you.
seizure. Oh my
It was just awful, like pulling my fingernails off. And then finally, like, the guy says something, and like it gave me like a straightaway. I'm like, all right, yeah. I was like, yeah, next time, make sure there's a desk on the back of that motorcycle, or you don't get on there. And he's like, you got that right. And I'm like, just, oh my God, damn Christ. Like, I almost just walked right away from that job because that guy was there.
And then the climax of the story.
What happened?
The secretary died.
Oh yeah, secretary died. Yeah, she totally died in the accident. Yeah, she was like dead on impact or something. But I didn't even care about that. I'm like, I didn't even say like, well, that sucks. I was just thinking to myself, like, I don't know you or anybody in your story. I don't know this company. I don't know anything about, like, I have no qualification to even be a part of this story.
You know what's funny?
Like the guy next to you, 2 seats down, who's eating his pizza, looking at the TV. He's a better candidate. He can probably relate to this story. Why are you telling me?
I know. He's half drunk too, right? God. It's funny that guys in the chat, like, it's probably Brett, Advanced Refrigeration. You got Jason. Who else said it? Will. Guys we know, we talk to, and you would never think. Bill. And they're all saying they're introverts. It's crazy.
Yeah, see? Thank you. I'll bet you that's a main reason why we get into this. I know that was one of the things I really love about commercial. For the most part, I'm on my own, doing my thing up on rooftops, and I can handle a little bit because I do hot side as well. I can handle being, down inside the restaurant, doing the reaching coolers or whatever. But man, I couldn't do residential.
You know what's funny? If you're riding along with somebody too, it does take energy out of you.
Oh,
it does. I've been doing that too, man.
It's a lot easier.
You have to interact with a human being all day. Like, you don't get a break.
It's easier to like listen to podcasts, listen to music loud, whatever. But not that it's like bad, but I don't know if it's when you're used to working alone and then you work with somebody.
It's awful. Like, actually, speaking of residential, I actually got to do a little bit of residential this week. And it was awful.
Was it?
The first one was terrible.
Trailer.
I got an emergency after hours call, and I for work related reasons, I won't get too into the details, but I got this after hours emergency call. They get, the thermostat's at 78 and it doesn't feel like 78 in there because they got no heat, I was told. I'm like, all right. So I rush over there, run inside, and it's literally a balmy 78 degrees in this place. And I was like,
78 degrees.
Like, is this the right place? And she's like, yeah. Yeah, it doesn't feel like it's 78 in here. I'm like, yeah, it does. And so, long story short, it was a trailer house, and they had just, cold infiltrating through the place. I'm like, there's no way you're going to keep this, this shoebox.
It's like probably so
78
cold.
degrees. Yeah, it's like 15 degrees outside, and you want to keep this uninsulated, I don't know, fart tube of a house at 78 degrees.
I never work on them. Our guests today might know, and maybe Adam, but people in the chat, but aren't they just plywood and some metal on the wall?
I think it depends.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think there's like a layer of Kleenex or something.
You didn't have vapor barriers? They must have a vapor barrier.
Yeah, they probably have vapor barrier. But the thing was too, like, her couch was right next to the window, and I'm like, it's a trailer house window, so obviously it's gonna be single pane if you're lucky, like half a pane probably. And that's plexiglass for all we know. Oh, then the other crazy thing was next to the furnace. I've never seen this before, but again, I don't do this stuff very often. But next to the furnace, there's a 4-inch piece of PVC going down through the floor, down to underneath, and it had the line set for the for the AC going through it and the drain as well. But the crazy part is I was looking at it, I'm like, I can feel a draft. And I go there, I stick my head down in there, and I look, and I can see the grass, so I can see right down through that pipe. It's never insulated. There's no spray foam, no nothing in there. It's just wide, just a 4-inch PVC.
Did you recommend a blower door
wide
test?
Open. I gave her your number. I was like, have you heard of 2.0, ma'am? And she's like, what? I was like, 2.0. You're going to love it. I'm going to get you this guy. He's going to charge you about $18,000 to come in here and tell you that your house is uncomfortable, something that you already know. And then he's going to tell you how to fix it. But it's going to be so wildly, absurdly priced, you're not going to be able to fix it.
You're going to have to move.
You got to move.
Did she have
like
a stroke?
Me. No, none of that happened.
How about you, Adam? Anything interesting this week?
Not really. Actually, I did a comfort consult on Saturday last week. Big house. 3,600 square foot house. I mean, it's not big for Joe.
What was the issue? Why did they?
His master bedroom doesn't heat or cool properly, and he wants to replace his 20-year-old system.
Gotcha.
Right. So the master bedroom is extremely leaky, and I looked at his utility usage, and as far as usage goes and runtime, because he has an Ecobee, he's at just over 48,000 BTUs of heat. What he needs for this house.
And what's he having there? Double?
120. So
yeah.
Oddly enough, like here's the thing. Somebody, a guy I know called me today and he's like, this guy who owned this really big company, this union company or whatever, was telling me how to do load calculations. And he said, what you do is you take the length times the width times 18 for the height.
Yeah.
Times 4. And that's what your load calc is.
Why times 4?
I don't know, but that's the number. And whatever it was, and I'm like, okay, well, hear me out here. I did the math on that in this house. I'm like, dude, 120,000. That's what this house needs, right? Okay. What he actually using is like 50,000. So that's a little skewed, right?
Well, that's gonna help big time, right?
You got to factor in the 0.1 on the ductulator, though.
Yeah.
Now that'll get you there.
He told me his budget. He didn't want to spend any more than 16,000. I'm like, yeah,
no,
we could do a mini split. Maybe later we'll come back and do a full system for you. But I don't want to do that. I'm like, well, it doesn't fit your budget. And I want to fix your bedroom for you. And
I was gonna ask
at the end of the conversation, what does he say to me? Have you ever heard of geothermal?
Good luck.
I said,
16,000 for sure.
Yeah, you're not going to be able to afford to drill your well for 16,000.
Now, why was his upstairs master leaky? I'm pretty sure you did like some kind of infrared
over garage.
Oh, one of those over the garage shoots, eh?
Yeah.
Why? It's always over the garage.
I don't know.
I mean, that seems like a pretty easy fix. You just go in there with some spray foam, right? Some closed cell, 2-3 inches or whatever. It should probably do it.
Fuck, I've seen houses with ductwork not even capped on the garage and like such shafty and shitty work.
Since I've gotten my basement spray foamed, it's literally one of the most comfortable places in my whole house. The rest of the house, you have all these cold and warm spots because the hydronic system in it's just been bastardized. I got radiators, I got baseboards. Some of the baseboards don't feel like they do anything. Could be airlocked, I don't know. I don't think so though, but thermostats downstairs, but we got giant radiators upstairs and just like 4 baseboards down here around the thermostat. So upstairs is always hotter, but then like our master bedroom doesn't have any sort of heating in there, no baseboard, no radiator, no nothing.
Yeah.
And it's got a closet that I think Adam is the one who said it on the time him and Nate came over and did the blower door test on my house, that my closet in the master bedroom is basically outside because there's literally so much infiltration through that wall.
So not only you have nothing in the master bedroom, you have a closet that's
Well, It was crazy because when you walk into his bedroom while the blower door is running, you felt like you were in a wind tunnel. Like when you walked past it, like up to the closet, it was like blasting you in the face. You're like,
are you serious?
Yeah,
dude.
Wow.
Yeah, I needed to move.
So, what do you think? Super special guest time?
Sure. I could talk
about how about real quick?
All right.
I want to get this off my chest. So, obviously, everybody knows the price of stuff is going up, right?
No.
Cost of goods, supplies. I mean, every week, like our supply houses are letting us know that prices are going up. Equipment's going up. Everything's going up, right? So, it only stands to reason that the price of service will go up. And ours has, my company, the price has gone up a little bit. Actually, not as much as I thought it would. So this week, I feel like I've had more people complaining about price of our services than like any other week, even though we haven't raised our prices like this entire year. But I had one of these residential calls, right? I go to this trailer house. Dude's got no heat, right? And everybody knows where I'm going with this story. But dude's got no heat. I pull a rabbit on my hat, get a universal igniter in there, show him like, hey, this will work, blah, blah, blah. He's like, well, it looks different. I'm like, yeah, it is. It looks different. It's a universal one. We'll make it work. All it does is heat up and the gas ignites. This, that. So I get him heat. It's 45 degrees in his house. He's all happy. The next day he calls our office complaining about the price. I didn't give him a bill or nothing, but they emailed it to him the next day, whatever. Complaining about the price. And then he's like, it was only like $300, dude, for heat, to keep your family warm. And
it's not bad on an emergency call too. Right?
Not terrible. Yeah. Emergency call after hours. I had to drive an hour to get there or whatever, and then drive around this giant trailer park trying to find the place. And he's complaining about the price of all things. It's just like, he's like, it should have been like $50. I'm like, how does that make any sense? How does that make any sense to anybody?
That's why the first comment I made when you posted trailer, no offense to anybody, trailer equals waste of time or something like that.
I gotta tell you something. This is I hate to admit this, but on House Call Pro, I don't think they still do it, but they used to do it. When you load a customer into your dispatching software, it tells you what the house is worth.
Oh, right? No way.
Oh, that's genius right there.
Somebody calls at 1 o'clock in the morning. It's like, $40,000 house. Yeah, we're all booked until about tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
That's brilliant if you want to think about it.
$1.2 million house, midnight. Yeah, sure. I'll be right over.
Yeah,
I'm not arguing with price in the middle of the night. I'm sorry.
And the other thing, like this guy, after we were like, we're not changing the bill for you. He's like, well, you know what? I had another company come over and they said you guys put the wrong igniter in there. And we're like, it's a universal igniter. I mean, it's does the same thing. All the igniters. And no, this other company said you guys did it wrong. And they're like, which other company? And then he's like, well, no, the internet said it. Like, okay.
The Google doctor.
You just call the internet next time you want your shit fixed, bud.
Clive says a good point. Pandemic is catching up. The savings are running out, and people are not feeling the pinch. That is true.
Yeah. People are dicks, man. Not you guys watching, though. You guys are cool.
Hey.
This is our super secret special guest.
What does it say at the bottom?
I couldn't read it. Alfred E. Newman? Who is that? Who's
Alfred E. Newman? Hey, Ted.
Wait, oh shoot, he's still muted.
My gosh.
Wait a minute. You guys lied to me.
What?
Where's Chris? You said I was replacing Joe.
Yeah.
That's how you came on. The only reason.
Yeah, that's the only way we get you on.
You got to trick me? Really? It come to that?
Every time. And I put
Chris is not here. What's Chris like? He's on vacation.
How's the career in Kurt Russell impersonations going?
It's okay. I can play second fiddle.
Nice.
I don't know. You have to ask Joe. Joe, you been doing Kurt Russell?
No, because you got that sweet Kurt Russell mustache.
Which movie? Kurt Russell's awesome. Now you're not old enough. You're not old enough to know the movie, but Kurt Russell made his start in a movie called The Computer Wore Tennis Shoes. Now,
I remember that movie.
That one wasn't very good, but his first good movie was I forgot.
Is that the name of the movie?
Oh, Used Cars.
Never heard of it.
Used Cars. Gotta watch Used Cars. You're probably going to want the last hour and a half of your life back if you do, but.
How old was he in that movie?
Oh, he was probably 21 or something, 22.
Oh, yeah, because he started off as like a kid when he was like 8 or 9 or something, that first movie, right?
The Computer Wore Tennis Shoes, I think he was 16, 17.
Oh, I was old. Yeah.
How'd you know I was a big Kurt Russell fan?
Because you got a Kurt Russell mustache?
No. He has an anti-DIY mustache. I don't have a Kurt Russell mustache.
I tried to grow a Kurt Russell anti-DIY mustache, but I can't pull it off. I can't get the ends to twist out like Santa Claus. Even when I tried waxing and Elmer's glue and everything.
What do you do, Ted? Oil, glue.
You got nothing on it.
Yeah, some of those guys are they're just
dry as a bone.
He's a cowboy at heart.
Mm-hmm.
Dry as a bone.
A lot of people saying hi to you, Ted, in chat. I don't know if you see chat.
So tell us a cool
cowboy.
And there it goes.
That wasn't scripted.
Saying I'm a cowboy. Huh? No, you told me not to say nothing. I mean, you said just act normal. You said just
Yeah.
No, I never said that. I know better than that.
I asked.
I would have told you to
I
act
asked
normal.
for preparation and a script, and you guys like,
hey,
a bunch of clowns.
I didn't know you were going to be on the show till just now when you showed up.
Right,
I was like,
still don't know. This might
going to be on the
fake.
show today?
Do you have
actually live?
Tell us a cool HVAC story, Ted.
Yeah. So, what kind? Like
something like a fairy tale,
groundbreaking
horror story, something terrible.
We could let him. We could let him think about that, and he could talk about his new shop. That's somebody.
Right now, I have 4 20-SEER high-end systems sold and can't get them.
Yeah.
Something bad. I mean,
no ETAs.
Huh?
ETA? Like they don't have a? Do they have any idea?
It always comes up the same. It says 4 to 6 weeks. Sometimes you get it in 2 to 3. Sometimes, you know.
Yeah, we were told 2 to 3 weeks for a couple of rooftop units we had to order from Carrier.
Yeah. I hear Carrier's equally having a hard time too.
Yeah, it seems like it because they were like, well, the best we can do is like 2 to 4 weeks.
No.
What do they say?
Fly, we cannot replace no to whatever that was.
What do they say? Is it material? Is it manpower? What
no, the chips that go, any of the high end stuff is floating on those boats out in the chips that can't get across. Supposedly, I mean, you hear stories, man. Everything's friggin' political. You know, I'm just tired of hearing it.
Oh, I know.
I really don't know. It's out of my pay grade to understand who's lying and who's not. You know, you got the two sides. Who knows which one of them? You know, you watch them both, and you're even more confused. But supposedly,
imagine like growing up and like
they don't have enough people to unload them if they were to come in. Another story on the other channel was California won't let a truck operate near the port unless it's less than 11 years old. And
that's wild.
I mean, dude, I really couldn't tell you. All I know is, hey, it's the same thing with trucks. I mean, and I'm assuming nationwide there's no new trucks on the lots for sale. We have none. I mean, there's like 3 trucks, and they're lining them up sideways, long ways, to make it look like there's something on the lot.
Like we've been trying to get a couple service vans, and like we can find them, but man, they are just outrageously priced.
Really high. Even the used ones.
Yeah, 40, 50 grand for a used one, 100,000 miles.
Correct.
On it.
And I mean, I want one brand new for less than that, and it's just not. You know, so supposedly everything that takes a chip, everything that takes a personality module, everything,
like Joe.
I've noticed we got 14 SEER stuff out the wazoo. I've noticed that. So the bottom line is making less money. So there's your HVAC story.
I hear
still busy. Huh?
What's that vibrato? Is it your mini split running?
Oh yeah, man. And there's an HVAC story right there. So this morning,
good one, Adam.
I'm supposed to get my my first hyperheat. I've never bought one of those Mitsubishi, the high end one. It's not that much more SEER or anything, but it's a hyperheat. And my basement down here has no room for ductwork, and I'm not going to have it exposed. So I have 3 heads of a mini split. So I bought a hyperheat. This morning we're supposed to put it in. 5 guys were scheduled for installs today. There was a double, a single, and my house. And 2 out of the 5 didn't show up.
No call, no show, or what?
On a Friday. Well, so the lead man, his name's Danny. He's really hard to work for. I would have let the guys come on in, but if the deal is if they're late, he doesn't want to see them. Can't stand late. He just can't live with it. They start at 7, not 7:05, not 7:15. They start at 7, which means you have to be to get the vans at 6:30 and get to the job at 7 o'clock. And so,
what if my yoga class is running late?
Well, then you're probably not going to be an HVAC installer, or at least not for long.
That's probably true, but I'll be flexible.
Yeah. With your time and your body.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know about this guy, man. He puts those glasses on and you don't know.
Hey, I know everybody was thinking that. I just
don't know if he means that or if he's,
I just speak for the world.
You don't know what to think about.
I'm the voice of this generation.
I'm tired of that noise. No, wait, that noise. I'm tired of that noise. And when it gets really cold, these are Ameristars. They were in the house when I bought it. Ameristar.
Agree.
And they're the old Medea Ameristars, not even the new Run True or Oxbox Ameristars. They're the old ones. So Bic lighters, man, they've about had it, and I'm not going to fix that one up there making that noise when I'm just waiting to tear them out. So, man, I don't have any good. You mentioned geothermal. So I did have what I'm pretty sure, 90% sure, another geothermal sales coming through.
What are you going to install?
I wonder how long that's going to take. Like, I don't have the actual order placed yet with water furnace. But I wonder, they've always made them to order. They're not stocked.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering how long that's going to take and if that's going to be, any big deal. I do have the guy talked out of any 2-stage variable speed stuff. So it's just going to be a single stage geo pump and dump, as you call it. Open loop, which is the most efficient anyway. A lot less horsepower on the motor, a lot less,
like Joe's girlfriend.
Nothing has to change. Nothing has to happen in the ground. It comes out instant temperature.
Yeah, and it's always steady.
So it's honestly, if you can,
wise though, because don't you have to use a well pump? You're using a well pump nonstop.
Yeah, you have to use a well and a well pump, but I wouldn't say nonstop. I mean,
whenever it's running,
not like a regular heat pump that's going to run forever.
Yeah.
But there's no pressure. It's open. So, when you do a closed loop and it's closed, there's more pressure on it. The horsepower of the pump is a lot bigger and it has to exchange temperature in the ground. So there's an action happening there that doesn't have to happen with the well fed system because it's instant 56-degree water hitting the loop at all times, hitting the heat exchanger at all times. So, like, the thing is, everybody knows a heat pump is the best, most efficient, most comfortable way to heat a house until it gets cold, right?
Yep.
As soon as it gets cold, it's garbage. And the heat strips come on, and the bill goes up, and your nose dries out, and everybody hates it. And so imagine a heat pump that operated in a 56-degree environment its whole life. No outdoor unit, just 56-degree water going across your condenser. So obviously it's going to make ice cold air for summer and nice warm air for winter because the Geo heat pump thinks it's 56 degrees outside all the time. So I don't know if a few of the guys over there in the chat might not have understood that.
This summer I'm going to get an opportunity to work on
I think most of you do. Well, except Bill. Bill's the only greenhorn we have here. Right?
Joe, you got into it with a company, a geothermal company this week.
Joe's done some geos. He's from Canada, man.
Yeah, we're going to save it for another show because I'm still trying to get even more information about it. But yeah, it's just they have a geothermal. They have about 4 barred units, our system, and we're working with them. But I don't have enough heat for auxiliaries. I told them the best option is for a 15 kilowatt duct heater for auxiliary. Then I'm saying, well, wait a minute, how much power are you bringing up here? Oh, well, 200 amps. Well, you got the pool pump, you got our system, you got the barred units for this area. It's all adding up. You don't have enough. You better call electric. So it's a big mess. And the homeowners were frustrated and this and that. First they say don't have money, then they say, okay, we got to do it right. Well, to do it right, you got to spend more money.
Yeah, they're spending hundreds of $1,000s on geothermal, and then Joe comes in there like a cowboy, says, "We're gonna put resistance heat in this baby," and we're just
right. Yeah.
You ever heard of a mini split?
Or move somewhere? to where they have natural gas.
They don't have natural gas. I try to push propane for because they're like, can we use propane? It's expensive. Usually I would need at least. Though. Yeah, that's true. Not. They still need auxiliary. Still gonna run. It's gonna consume a lot of money for propane. So, I gave them the idea and the duct heater, and I think they're gonna do that. It's gonna be redundant, and they might not use it. Their system, the Geo, is gonna produce probably 62,000 BTUs. I'm gonna produce around the same amount.
So why will the Geo not? Is it so cold there that the Geo won't work without some auxiliary heat?
The thing is, with Geo, you can only maintain about a tank, maybe a tank of 100 degree Fahrenheit water. So 100 degree, it's going to be warming up.
Tank,
like a reserve tank, like a water.
You do a little warmer than 100, but yeah.
What are you doing with a tank?
Yeah, reserve tank.
It's I don't know the proper word for it. I guess it's a reserve tank. I don't know.
Is that like in case the groundwater's too cold?
Closed loop you're talking about?
Yes, it is closed loop.
Oh, I got you.
And so so it's gonna once if I need that BTUs, it's not gonna be there. 105 degrees. I don't know. Once I'm heated, of course, once the whole body of mass of water is heated, sure, it'll maintain. But to get there,
right?
Yeah. But anyways, that's another situation. But there was another situation I was telling Jason and Chad about. I was at a building, and they had Climate Masters, small chassis Climate Masters, and
pretty good.
Yeah, and
second best.
But the problem was they use them. Yeah, they use them all kinds there, and water furnace too. The problem was the new ones for the building chassis, small chassis, is that they want 3 powers. They usually come down with 3 powers from the BES system. So they got heat call, air conditioning call, and reversing valve call.
You said BDS system?
BAS.
Okay.
Communication system.
Yeah.
Well, this building only had 2 coming down. You got a heat call and an air conditioning call. And this Climate Master, the new Climate Master that came in, needs 3 calls.
Is this low voltage?
What do you mean low voltage?
Like, what are you just talking about? Like a low
the call for heat or the call for air.
And it's tying into an auto, like a commercial system.
It's almost like a regular furnace. So giving your W call and your Y call. So we had a guy there, a communication guy from a big company in Canada. And he's there. He's frustrating. He's trying to adjust the dip switches, trying to do this, trying to do that, and he couldn't get it going. Well, of course you can't get it going. You need another power. Somehow you need another power. So I went to go with my buddy Andre, and we got it fixed. And I want to show you on the board, since I have it here, what I did.
Oh, pretty cool. Happened.
You had cool. There was a reason for that board?
No, I used it for something else, but now that it's here.
He was using
do your Sheldon imitation. Do your Sheldon imitation.
Oh, what does he do with the board?
He does math on the board, but
no math.
Yeah, I guess it's better than the same storage boxes for a year.
It's just using a relay, which a lot of guys, I know we preached it before. I know Adam said it. I've said it. A lot of people said it. If you understand relays, you can make anything happen.
That's kind of back to Sheldon. He had a show on the show. His show was called Fun with Flags.
Oh, man, that was awesome.
I think we should start another show called Fun with Relays.
Hey, that's a good idea you stole.
Yeah.
That is. Yes.
That's at least a show or a segment or something. Fun with relays. What can we do with relays this week? Joe's going to show us
right now.
All right, I'm going to quit pointing because I can't point.
It's a good
backwards.
So what I had to do
on relays with 2-Point Joe.
So you have a board behind you, but you keep turning around looking at us.
That's a good point.
I need a marker of some sort. I was using this for something else.
The board. He's got no marker.
You know what? I'm gonna keep. Sorry.
Nothing.
No, I was using it for someone else. And you know what? I could use this on the show maybe sometimes too. I'm gonna keep this here.
So like right now, if you drew around that silhouette of your hat, look without looking. Yeah, but don't look. No. Straight, not the other way.
Yeah, try to trace your silhouette.
Look to the side, and it showed your hat and the bill right when you were looking to the side.
Remember earlier when we were talking about snacks, and Joe's like, I just had a big handful of nuts.
Draw the silhouette around there, and then
I was like, yeah,
when you're gone,
Mexican nuts,
still here.
Big black nuts or white guy nuts, or
I'm glad you said that.
Dad! Okay, well, he's here. I'm going to draw this. So I'll show you what I
knew you were tricking me for something.
It's a family reunion of Ted and his bastard child, buddy. His son from Mexico.
Did you tell him that he has to watch the movie again?
What movie?
Born in East LA.
Again? For what?
Yeah. A refresher course.
Mm-hmm.
But this time you're going to give me the prize.
Shut up.
Send me.
What do you want? Jack of R22?
Tamales.
Wouldn't be bad.
Yeah, you got some R22. I'll take it.
Yeah, you can cross it to the border.
No.
They call it art.
No, but I'll take it once it gets on this side.
In Mexico.
All right, we're gonna have to zoom in on when he gets that drawn because
that's a good point. We can't see none of it.
Looks like stick figures.
Oh my God, yo!
Hey, that's just like Sheldon. That's math, sort of. That's a map.
Do we know what he's drawn yet? Does he say like what's this? What is this?
Just a simple relay circuit to show you how to create the calls that you don't have.
Huh.
In other words, you need 3 calls.
So he's got 3.
Were you listening when he explained the situation at all, Bill? Did you even understand when he explained the situation? Were you listening?
No, it was either above my head or I just wasn't.
I don't think he's going to start over just for you, Bill.
He will. He's nice. He's a Canadian.
3 calls.
So this is from. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So
now we can't hear you. Nope.
This is from the BAS system, right?
Why are you putting that cord in your mouth? That's not gonna help.
Strangling me, for fuck's sake.
He's the wrong mic.
No, it's strangling me.
Got you now, but it's blocking part of the relay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. Not that far.
So these 2 are coming from the BS, and you only get power individually. So if I had a Y coffer air cool. So by the way, here, depending the manufacturer where it's made, our call for heat energizes the reversing valve. It's not like a lot of things down there in the States that you energize the reversing valve for cooling.
Right.
So anyway,
we have both. Yeah, we have both.
Do you have both?
Yeah,
okay.
I've seen.
Yeah, Ream is gay, so Ream energizes in heat and requires a different thermostat or different setup.
Gotcha.
But most things, you're right. Most things energize in the cool mode.
So what is it? The top is the thermostat.
That's like a little relay from the BS system.
Okay.
So you got power in the whatever power's coming down in the Y call, and it comes down, and it'll just power your Y, your compressor. Your compressor's Y, right? This is reversing valve. My W is reversing valve.
Yeah.
So I need to make that compressor come on when I have a call for heat. So when I get my call for heat, it comes down, energizes the coil, so it energizes my reversing valve, and I got my R from my heat pump on one side of the dry contact, which I think somebody said it, I think Will. So it makes, in turn, when this is closing, it makes my compressor come on too. Bam!
Fun with relays. That was the first show. That was the pilot.
Yeah.
That was the pilot for Fun with Relays. It's going to get better. It's going to get better. He's going to do a better job of drawing. He's going to practice.
I think I actually followed
along. And we're going to do some more complicated stuff, which will be over Bill's head, but still enjoyable.
I mean, there was a thermostat that I put on a heat pump system the other day. Completely wrong thermostat. Completely wrong. It wasn't built for this system at all because this system had emergency heat. And yeah, anyway, I just had to get them going. So anyway, I put this wrong thermostat on there. But I remember reading, it said if you use this on a heat pump, you have to put a jumper wire from W to Y on the thermostat. And I still really don't understand how that's...
Not in the summertime, you don't.
I mean, I don't understand how that's what that's going to do. Why
you do know this is an HVAC show, right?
Yeah. What
exactly do you do here, Bill?
Well, I'm just
personality
here.
Or
no, it's not personality. I make the thumbnails.
That's
literally it.
Hey, no, you do a pretty good job on that.
That's literally all I do.
That's it.
If they don't bring me on the show, I don't make the thumbnail.
There you go, Joe.
You know, it's funny though, because you and I know Ted, Bill, Adam. A lot of guys don't understand that. And when you do something like this, a simple thing like this, it's people are like, what the fuck? I had a guy there for 2 hours trying to figure out what the fuck. You know, he's a communication guy in this big huge company, and he's like, what the hell? How are we gonna make this
order
work?
a board? Yeah, I'm gonna order a board for that.
So I don't understand what's the situation where they had to like rig up relays and stuff where they didn't actually have
they were missing a wire.
So usually the old Climate Masters chassis, they only need 2 wires. But the new ones coming in, a lot of Climate Masters and some other ones come in. I don't work on these all the time. They need 3 wire. They need a reversing valve power. So what I did is with the 1 power, I made 2 powers with a relay.
And it just not like running on another wire.
I like the fun with relays thing, man. I think that's awesome. Bill could make the signs. You know, he could use flags for it, you know, for each type of relay.
Yeah.
I'd give Bill something to do. Keep him busy.
They give me a graphic.
Make the signs. You said you made thumbnails.
I could make one out of crayons.
Oh, God.
I eat crayons.
It's funny when you see Bill in situations because he doesn't do a lot of residential. So when Bill comes to residential situations, it's kind of funny. Gotta admit.
But he's funny in any situation. I mean, Bill's always funny, man.
See, that's true.
And I was talking to somebody about this week because they had I forget, was it, I think in the overtime group or something, they were posting about how they're always screwing shit up, and I was like, well, you know, I look at it this way, like I do everything from like hot side to cold side. Like I can go fix a fucking fryer, and then after that I'm working on a walk-in cooler, a beer cooler, then they'll send me to a geothermal system, then I'll go work in a trailer house, like all over the place. So I've just had to come to grips with that. I mean, it's a wide variety of stuff that I have to do. I'll be decent at it, but I ain't gonna master all these things.
Yeah, and the thing is, like, you're not gonna remember everything. You just
you just don't use it often enough.
You need to know either who to talk to or where to reference.
That's why I got you guys. Yeah. That's why when they like send me out to a boiler, I go work on a shake machine or a frosting machine. Then they send me out to a boiler. Then I call like Adam, and then the next thing they're like, go look at this geothermal system. I'm like, oh man, it's cool, but you know, sometimes you feel like you just wish you had you could just focus on like one part of the industry and just master it. You know,
it's unfortunate that in like up here, HVAC trade is one of the top trades, and there's schooling, a lot of shit goes into it. It's a shame that down there, well, it seems like it's a top trade, but it doesn't seem like there's enough, I don't know, credit.
He's calling
cracking on the quality of the rednecks down here.
Not the red.
You watch my video, those aren't for you.
No, it's not your videos, right? Nothing like that. It's
There's some of the one you need to watch if you want to laugh at the rednecks, buddy. One of the most recent ones. It's pretty bad.
Which one is that?
It was a Linux. It was a new construction. It's like called New Construction Failed Sabotage something. It's really.
Oh, did they screw it up?
Really, really bad.
I'm gonna look it up right now.
Real bad. I mean, you've never seen ductwork like that. You're gonna think a 3-year-old did it. No, you're gonna think a 3-year-old Canadian could do better.
Hey, Ted, you just got one more subscriber just now.
What? So you just now freaking subscribed to my channel, Bill?
I didn't know you had a channel till just now.
Now we know he's lying.
Subscribed to you for years. I'm gonna cut your where's Bill's channel?
No, I'm just
unclick. I'm gonna unfriend everything.
Where is this video? Is this a recent video, Ted? Or is it a little while back?
They are dated, Bill.
What's the date on it?
This one I'm thinking of. It's been a few months for sure.
Look, no, this one is This one is way worse than the one you're thinking of.
Okay.
No, this is bad, man. Really bad.
Your viewers don't like when you call these videos sabotage and this and that.
I don't care. Why are they paying me?
Well, that's true.
Well, this is the way I see that. If you know better and you do crap work on purpose, I mean, like, what are you telling me? They're drunk or something when they do this? I mean,
right. Right.
They've all been to school. They all got the little card, the license. What did they didn't pay attention? I mean,
well, that's I mean,
you don't watch my videos at all, Adam. So you can't really relate to this because you never watch my videos.
I do watch your videos. I absolutely do watch your videos.
Listen,
I don't watch. You post a video every like 30 seconds. I don't watch all your videos.
Dude, it's not even once or twice a week.
You post a lot of videos.
Yeah, it's true.
Compared to you, I do. Shut up, Taco. Somebody asked you.
Hey, Yamo.
Chiming in over there. You can at least say hello, man. Hey,
what was I gonna say? No,
you lose yourself.
My point is, so somebody on Facebook today, I saw this morning. He went through the ACA design class, and he's like, "I've been doing this for 20 years, and I'm taking a step to get better." Or something like that. You know what I mean?
Oh, he passed it. Yeah.
He passed the class, right? So my point is, like, when you're doing this, I remember when I was younger, when you're in your teens or early 20s or whatever, you're not really thinking about work all that much. You're thinking about girls, you're thinking about booze and going out and having fun, and you're thinking about after work, right?
Yeah.
That's what I thought about when I was younger. And then
I don't see the problem.
Well, you're not really focusing on trying to do the best job and, learning as much as possible, right? It's not important to you. And I think some people never get to that point where it becomes important to them.
Oh,
and
well,
then,
all you gotta do is get a wife and kids, and priorities change.
True.
If you're worth a crap, but dude, I'm telling you, Adam, they couldn't pay you to do a job like this. It'll have flex for 20 feet. Doing this.
I still can't find this video.
And then it'll go to a 5-foot section of 12-inch pipe, and it'll take 3 saddle taps out of that of flex going to the boot backwards, by the way, like it's too far this way, and so the comes in and has to travel backwards. Then there'll be another 10-foot piece of 12-inch flex and another 5-foot section of 12-inch hard pipe with about 4 more saddle taps off of it.
That's because they haven't figured out how to put saddles on flex yet. If they figure that out, they would.
Oh, then they won't even buy a piece of pipe.
They wouldn't buy pipe.
No,
yeah, exactly.
But then it goes to the end, and they'll put a reducer on that last piece. That's what this video is a reducer on it, and it goes 10-inch flex to an 8.8Y, 10.88Y, and then those 2 8s go to 8.66Ys. On each of them.
You know what they call that?
Spaghetti.
They call that balanced velocity, Ted. That's a science.
We already know that you're challenged with static pressure probes. So hey,
have you heard of this thing 2.0, Ted?
Yeah. I have credentials.
She's got a blower door. Did you not know that?
Hey,
I was told to be nice.
Your catchphrase made it on our shirt, Ted.
What was that?
Just so anybody knows, we didn't make that up.
Say?
You can go to our website and buy it if you want to, Ted. Support us. Support our channel.
Tell me what it says. I mean, I probably would go.
Why don't you show them from the website, Adam?
Oh yeah, better idea. Yeah, bring it up on the website and show them.
Show it to us or something, since it's a secret and you won't tell us.
Right, what's the name of this video, Ted? I can't find this video you're talking about. I want to see this.
All right, let me give you the title and a little, map or something.
I've gone back like 14 months.
Don't go back. It's like 2 videos ago.
So 2 videos ago.
Maybe 3.
Hack job butcher sabotage one.
There you go.
That's what I'm watching.
That's the one.
All right.
There you go.
I think. Oh yeah.
You got my weekend planned.
Yeah.
On the front, we have HVAC Overtime, and underneath it, 2-point Joe.
Yeah, I never said that in front of anybody. I only said that in the green room.
That's why it's good that nobody kind of knows what it is. Maybe that's a good thing.
Well, some people can figure it out.
Yeah.
Not everybody here, but
Sam from Retrotech sent me that image for the blower door. I didn't really tell him what I was using it for, so I don't know how it's going to go over. We'll see.
So a blower door is something you put in place of someone's front. You open the front door stick that there, blow it, and then go outside with your heat, your FLIR gun, and see where the heat's coming out of the cracks of the windows, or what?
You could do it outside or inside. You could depressurize the house or pressurize the house. You could use
What's the purpose?
To find out where the house, like if you have uncomfortable areas, you could have a house problem or you could have an HVAC problem.
But if you don't sell windows, then
man, Joe and Ted are now best friends.
I know.
Oh, did he say that?
No,
pretty much.
I didn't hear him say it. I watched the show. I didn't.
No. Yeah, you and
there's a place for everything. I think for sure it's a good.
Yeah.
Oh, he agreed with something I said?
And a garbage can for that.
I agree with a lot of stuff he says too. That has nothing to do with nothing, Bill.
Man.
Bill, you're trying to cause trouble.
No, I mean I'm right in the middle. I mean, I can't say you're wrong. You're not wrong.
You are in the middle, right there.
You know.
Listen, if someone's coming to you for issues, there's blower door, which is a beautiful tool that people could use.
I mean, I'm on both sides.
Isn't that a little bit, overcomplicating a simple situation? I mean,
if I got a 2.0 T-shirt, I'm all 2.0.
Here's the thing:
Team 2.0 forever.
If you have, I guess what you could do is like every situation, sell somebody a mini split if they have a bad room in their house, right?
That's what I've done in the past.
Or
sometimes
you
that's
could,
the only thing you could do.
What else?
That'll solve a bonus room problem where there's no way to create, the same
homeowners problems.
And you need a separate, control, and you don't want to buy a 20 SEER machine for zoning, or the one room is too small to be a voting zone. Then a mini split solves the problem, and then also when there's ductless, no room for duct, a mini split solves the problem. But beyond those things, I think they're toys, and I don't really like them.
Mini splits?
Yeah, I know.
Right. They blow all the time. They, you don't want them in a dining room or a bedroom or nothing.
I have a.
It cures a lot of problems.
I pulled out a 80,000 furnace, the second floor of a house in Chicago, no insulation. I put in Fujitsu's version of the Hyperheat for the second floor.
I heard it works really good.
It's a 3-zone, 2 zones upstairs, and I put one in the kitchen because she doesn't have air conditioning downstairs. Yeah. And that's the only source of heat now. I pulled the furnace out, and I called it the other day because we had, multiple days under 0 degrees.
Yeah.
And I'm like, how's your heat? She's like, it's awesome. Works great.
Great.
So,
I'm looking forward to the Hyperheat here, but maybe we could do something, or you could do something, because I'm not part of the we. I was just a filler because you were desperate. Maybe we could do something like fun with gimmicks. And you could put all these gimmicks like blower doors, duct cleaning, UV lights,
the purple
ion generator, or whatever. What do those halos do? Do they generate ozone? Or maybe one generated too much and it got yanked off the market?
Adam, isn't it hard to have the blower door in that category of halo?
I don't think it's like a gimmick,
It's just such a gimmick.
But here's the thing.
Okay, so what all do you sell if you're doing
a blower? Might as well be on an infomercial with Billy Mays. This is Billy Mays, and here's the blower door.
A lot of times what I've found is on these houses, like if you have a tighter house too with an oversized equipment, and they have a hard time heating or cooling the floor, you drop the size drastically, all of a sudden everything starts working, right?
Sure.
You're like, wow, the house is comfortable now.
Of course.
Called a load calculation. I don't think you need a door for that.
No, you don't. But there is a spot in Manual J and RightSoft and other software where you could input a blower door number in to be more accurate with the load calculation, right? To get a little bit more detail.
Just take your length times your width.
Yeah, but how accurate do you want to be when your machines come in, half-ton sizes or
let me give you an example. All right. So a guy that I know that owns another local company near me, we're friends. We're kind of competitors, but I'm friends with him.
Okay.
He started. We were working on a house together, and there was a house that he was working on by himself, and he told me 2,600 square foot house. They had a 5-ton, 120,000 in it. Right. He did not do a load calculation. He did not do anything. Basically, I think what he did the most of the only thing that he did was he just picked up the true flow grid for airflow. So he checked the static, the pressure drop across the filter and the coil, check the airflow. He ended up just winging it, and he dropped the size of the equipment. He put in a 2-stage 80,000 with a 3-ton. Okay, and now his static is down to 0.7. It's still high. He almost
That's not terrible though.
It's not awful. But like
imagine before.
Right. So exactly. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
So and I mean he probably could have gone down to a 2.5.
So how did you need a blower door to achieve it?
He didn't. He said this is way too big. And
so let me ask you this before I forget, because I've got this talent to remember song lyrics from the 70s, but I can't remember why I walked in the kitchen.
Yeah, go ahead.
So let me ask you this before I forget. Have any of you guys ever seen the duct sealing systems? Not the cleaning.
AeroSeal. Yeah.
Oh, that is one of them. Yeah, and it blows glue in the duct.
Yeah. Polymer. Yeah.
So
anyway, let's get back to that for 1 second. So my point is, by what he did by dropping a size of equipment that drastically without actually doing any math, load calculation or anything, realistically, it could be kind of risky to do that, right?
Well, he had a baseline to go by, though. He already knew he was too big.
Well, he knew he was too big, but he didn't know how big he was. Like how much do you drop it? Like maybe he should have gone to a 60,000. Maybe who knows? What if the house was really leaky and he had to go to 100,000?
I just never had that kind of problem. I have experience.
Yeah.
Well, it comes down to a lot of times, like Ted. I think Ted Kidd in the chat said about the window situation. Well, if you don't sell windows, fuck the homeowner's problem. It's the homeowner's problem, and that's what it comes down to a lot of times. Homeowners,
Right.
Oh well, you want to fix it?
You could show them, but they're gonna, and I got a friend that went through that blower door thing for a while, and he has this, general energy, greenhouse energy, blah, 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 conservation company,
one of those hippies,
a whole bunch of, gimmick crap. And it ends up looking like so the homeowner says, yeah, but my house is not under pressure. So those windows leaking like that are not causing it. I'm still blaming the heating and air guy, I just don't get what good that blower door is.
You could quantify like what problems are in the house. You know what I mean? There's different ways to figure that out, and you could show it with.
This is a better way to say it too, Adam.
Like magnifies the problem.
He took a risk of doing that. Now, in your argument, if he put a blower door on the house to see the leakage rate of the house,
and he actually went through some math and used he could
really.
Actually. Then he's more
thorough. Will be held a bit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he's not taking any accepting any liability on doing this, right?
Right.
He's. I mean, I'm glad it worked for him, but what if
you could get lucky?
Yeah,
and you could have one room that's really bad, and you've done all you can do as a HVAC guy, and this blower door shows that all the windows are leaking, right? But that one room is really leaking.
Yeah,
really pouring it out, much worse. But how often is something like that going to happen?
I mean, I had 3
you can find problems with a blower door. No, isn't that what it's for?
Absolutely, you can find problems with it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
so what else besides windows would it show losing, heat gain or heat loss? What else besides windows would you detect with that?
You could see just general air leakage.
Like that's
overall, like in the one I did last Friday. Last Friday, he had a crawl space, and the worst part of the house, the leakiest part of the house, was the basement. And I'm looking around the basement with the infrared camera. I can't really find much. I'm going around with smoke, don't really find much. And then I approach the crawl space, and it's coming out like a freaking jet engine at me. The crawl space.
So wait a minute. You have a blower door set up, Adam?
Yeah.
Oh, and you're doing that now? Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah. Blower door is the greatest new thing there is out here.
You're
for all you guys in the chat, for all the suppliers watching. I mean, the blower door, man, is way the future. I mean, what? No, you didn't tell me that.
What's up, Minky Moo 2?
Tell me I was cracking on your grandson, man. I mean,
That's why you and Joe get along so well.
Yeah.
I think there's a time and place for sure.
Joe feels the same way.
I think there's a time and place. It's nice, Adam, though, if you could do the blower door, go out of your way because they want to fix a problem and they're willing to spend the money.
Yeah,
it sucks that you tell them the problem and there are things that are not tangible that you can't fix. They don't want to fix. It's just too much money for
well, then
a house already made.
That's the thing. It's like, let them make their own decisions.
Right.
You don't ever make judgment calls for a customer. And I always used to do that all the time too. This is the system that I want to install for you, and this is what you get. And I knew I was oversizing equipment, but I was always thinking people don't want to pay for load calculations.
Right.
People don't want to pay for duct design.
All right, and that's $400 to $500. How much is the blower door test?
Well,
it's pretty easy to set up, right?
Yeah, but I'm doing a little bit more than just a blower door. You know what I mean? Like I'm looking at energy usage,
consultation.
Yeah, a whole consultation workup. I'm using infrared. I do a report, pictures, the whole 9 yards. Kind of figure out with their usage what their actual sizing is based off usage, and it actually works out even better if they have like an Ecobee or a Train.
But I think like
run times,
when you did the whole thing at my house, though, the part of the whole program was, I don't want to say program, but part of the whole process was like, you showed me, well, if you keep your house just the way it is, you can get this size furnace into account for all the leakage of your house, or if you do this much insulation or this much upgrade, you can have XYZ size furnace for your house.
What do you live in, Bill? Adam told me when y'all did your house, the whole thing turned red. Like,
it was real bad.
Bill wouldn't let me keep my shoes on in his house because he wants to keep the floors clean. But we had the blower door running for like 4.5 hours at his house.
Yeah, wouldn't pressurize.
I think my toes had like frostbite and crap on them from walking around in his.
It was real bad. Like it's bad in here, man. It's a 125-year-old house. If I would never had that blower door done, I probably wouldn't be moving. That blower door really showed me how leaky the house is, and actually what I need to do to get it up to par.
And he got to the point where he said mentally, I'm building a new house. I'm not sitting there anymore.
I can't do this.
I think I could find the problems without that.
I was going to say,
if it was HVAC. Now, if you're looking at the whole house, okay, but I don't sell windows and I don't sell tubes of caulk. I mean, what are you going to? I don't understand.
I got to buy a lot of cans of spray foam.
You know what? With the infrared,
spray foam is the most awesome thing ever.
I think it's a tool. It's a tool and a process that allows you to do your job a little bit more thoroughly and accurately, right?
Do what job more thoroughly and accurately?
If you're going to diagnose a problem, if you're going to size equipment and install new equipment, downsize, upsize equipment, whatever you're doing, it's just a tool in your toolbox that allows you to do your job a little bit more accurately, right?
If someone's coming for you with a big problem, it's a tool I have for sure. But
doesn't seem like it would be expensive or difficult. I mean, I don't know how much those setups are.
They're a lot more than you think.
Yeah, it's expensive, but I got to tell you, I've made a decent amount of money off of it.
Pays in the end.
What do you call expensive? Like, what's a decent, middle of the line blower door setup?
I want to say it's somewhere between $3,000 or $4,000.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. In the process, that's supposed to be a secret.
So it actually it's more than just turning on the pressure and looking with your FLIR gun. It actually gives you some readings like negative or positive pressure you're creating in the house. Does it give you any of that stuff?
Yeah. And there's other cool things you get. One of something I never thought about, which is a pretty basic thing that you could do that it makes a lot of sense. But when we brought John Ellis out to do the indoor air quality class, he was saying, if you ever, most houses are running in negative pressure, just in general, period, from gas appliances. And then you have exhaust fans, bath fans, kitchen fans, whatever. If you want to be at a neutral pressure, or if you want to be at a slight positive pressure, what you could do is turn on some of the fans, maybe not all of them in your house or whatever it is, pressurize the house, slowly increase it until your manometer is showing a neutral pressure or a slight positive pressure. And then you can measure and have an actual number to work with of how much makeup air you could bring into your house to put you in a better situation, right?
I think it might vary from house to house. A 125-year-old house might be different than a
Well, absolutely. I think if you have an old house, older houses, I think, are much more difficult to pressurize, but it's just a tool, you know.
And you're keeping heating and cool in and not out. I mean, like in a paint booth, for example. You know, I've built several paint booths. I actually own a real one that's got a name, Developus, but I've built them. And you want to paint under positive pressure, and it's obvious as to why. So you're not sucking in dirt.
Yeah,
but then you're blowing the paint on all your neighbors' houses, right?
It's exhausting outside. It's okay.
When you paint something red, you don't. Yeah, it's not something you want to have at a house, but nonetheless, we used to. Now it wasn't me that smoked the marijuana cigarettes, but that's what we used to test it with, was a cigarette, and we would open the door and it'd push the door out, you know, because you can tune the blowers to in and out.
Right.
So we're actually feeding air into the booth a little more than we're taking out.
It's like setting up an ERV or an HRV.
Right. But I wonder what's really better in the house is bound to be slight positive pressure, right? Because negative pressure would bring in the heat or cold from outside. So
that was one of the things that I've been playing with recently with RightSoft is what happens to your load as you're bringing in fresh air to a house, right?
It's certainly affected.
It does affect it, but what happens is it doesn't affect it as much as you would think. I mean, I think in the South where
there's a positive effect to that as well, though.
Right. In the South, when it's very humid and different, in my area, working on the loads that I've worked on, you'll have a number for infiltration in your load, right? Infiltration is the air leaking into your house. That's a number that you have to overcome with your furnace or air conditioner or whatever.
Right.
But as you bring in outside air and you're forcing it in, all of a sudden that air does not want to leak in anymore because you're creating more of a positive pressure. So that part of your load drops down. You're bringing in air, so that increases, but it's kind of like it's not like a 1-to-1. But one number goes down, the other number goes up. So it's not as big of an effect as you would think, you know?
It might be slightly positive because even though you're bringing in, you know, you're controlling the environment better.
Right.
So if you tune that finely enough, I think it could probably be a positive attribute to your load.
I mean, obviously you want to take into account like how humid it is, the air you're bringing in and all that. And I think a lot of the smarter dampers and controls look at that.
Or you just get an ERV and it does it for you.
Yeah, anything that says train on it is definitely going to be superior for all of that.
I want a train hat.
Just for whoever doesn't know that. Yeah, you want one of these hats, Bill?
Heck yeah. You send me one of those hats, man. I'll watch all your videos. I'll get rid of my other dumb blue-on hat that I got.
Get this address here.
Did I ever tell you
the trash?
Did I ever tell you why I stopped selling train?
Yes.
Is it because their panels fall off all the time?
No, they stole my YouTube video.
They stole your YouTube video.
It was an argument that, I don't know that I don't think I would say I don't think Train.
Somebody that works for Train took
But you're in a distributor state, Adam.
I don't
totally
care.
Disconnected to the manufacturer. You got a middleman between you.
A Train promotion that I got. Listen, here's the story.
I understand.
They called me and they said, would you be willing to work with us? And we'll talk numbers. They made me sign a non-disclosure agreement and all this stuff. And I'm like, sure, let me know. I'd be happy with like $200. That was cool. Mm-hmm. And all of a sudden I come home from work one night, checking my email, sitting on the toilet, you know, and then I see something from Train. Here's the new spring promotion, blah, blah. I click on it. There's a video. There's my video. Right there.
So you should be flattered. You should be flattered.
I was just pissed off because it's like,
Okay, look, Adam, if I send you the $200, we start selling.
I was gonna say.
I mean, it's cost a lot more than $200 now. You know, we're gonna have to.
Yeah, the inflation. I mean, you're a superstar now, so that's gonna count for something.
Yeah.
You just go to Train and be like, do you know who I am?
Y'all are going to blur this out for the recording. For the replays.
I won't allow it. Ted.
No blurring.
I'm friends.
He really does want the hat. He's going to protect mine. So until he gets his.
I'll wear it on the show from now on.
I was at, what was it, a year ago, Ted? I called you I was at the Geothermal conference, and what the guy recognized me from the Overtime show. One of the guys in the conference, and I was sitting there. He bought me a beer. He's like, "You know some of these other guys?" And he mentioned Ted. I'm like, "Oh, Ted." I call him up on speakerphone. I'm like,
I remember that.
That's awesome.
I thought you were, pranking me or something for a minute.
No, he was a fan.
Fan of you or me?
More of you. I think I'm cool by association.
You're kind of coattailing.
Yeah.
I don't know,
That's what
man.
I do with
This
Chris.
Show what? 710. I mean, I gotta hand it to you guys for consistency.
Heck yeah.
If you remember,
consistently almost late.
That was one of the things that everybody was mad at me all the time for insisting on when the show first began.
Consistency.
Yeah. Now everything else that I insisted on, got me disassociated, but that was one of the things that I insisted on, and getting rid of that one clown guy.
Chris?
Oh no. This guy was awful, man.
I've been insisting on a little bit of structure and planning for a year and a half now.
But he knew nothing.
It went nowhere.
Yeah, he made you look like Einstein, Bill. I don't care how new
I
you
know
are.
I know you're talking about now.
Yeah, it just wasn't. I just didn't understand the show.
Laggy.
Like you have those things where they like on a bull riding event, and they're out chasing the bull, and you have those clowns going around, distracting, but they have nothing to do with riding bulls or nothing. I didn't think the show needed one of those.
Yeah, absolutely. Agree.
Yeah, I
agree. Are you guys really going to do the fun with relays segment, or you think Chris is going to shoot it down?
Joe, forget.
Seems like a whole lot of work.
It is a lot of work, I have to say, but it's a good idea.
Draw something on a whiteboard.
Joe could do a lot of it. Now he's probably not going to be willing to do it all.
I think he should do it all. Joe really hasn't done anything in 124 episodes.
He doesn't do anything except.
I see how it is now.
Joe just denies stuff.
Y'all
That's
just
all he
want
does.
to sit here and shoot the crap. Nobody wants to do anything. We're going to make a couple of thumbnails, and nobody else wants to take it serious.
Joe, it's funny. I mentioned my Blue On hat, and look who pops up. Blue On Energy.
Blue On Energy.
What's up, Blue On? Where are you at when I had my hat on a couple shows ago?
Yeah, and hey, Blue On, we were talking to you guys for a while about having a couple of your tech guys on the show.
Yeah, what's up with that?
And then you ghosted us.
Yeah.
What's going on here?
Come on, let's get on the show. Let's start a conversation.
Not really somebody from Blue On.
Exactly, Ted.
Well, I was really talking to somebody from Blue On.
That's why.
They said no. They were all about it. I was talking to their Instagram
His name was John Blue On.
Yeah, Jimmy John Blue On.
Jessica has a Blue On
Jimmy
hat.
John Blue On.
She'll probably share hers with you.
I think Blue On is up to something. I think they're done selling refrigerant. They have something going on up their sleeves.
Yeah, something big.
The app
something
is
big's
pretty
going
good
on.
from what I'm told.
Yeah,
I've not
the app
used
is
the app,
good.
but I'm told it's handy.
Yep.
It's a good app for looking up, whatever.
But I think
stuff
Will
you should already know.
I think Will said the best comment. Who cares? Because the best hat is the HVAC Overtime hat by far.
That's a good point.
Right. So.
Well, I was promised one.
I'll send you Overtime hat.
8 times.
Wow, Adam didn't get you it yet? Wow.
Oh,
you wouldn't wear that. That's not your style. You want a trucker
Dude,
hat.
I was going to wear it on the other show. And
I got you. I'll get you an Overtime trucker hat.
They have a trucker hat now. We have it on the website.
Yeah, we got it now. We got it on the website.
I just don't want a lid.
No.
I don't want the flat bill.
No, I don't think that's what they are. There's another hat style in there called the dad hat. That's what I got. It's comfy.
No, you got the hood
it's a 6-panel hat.
Turned backwards like a hood rat.
This is what the cool kids do.
Is it really?
Mm-hmm. I asked them.
So you hang out with a lot of cool kids?
They smoke cigarettes behind the school. Yeah, we're cool.
Well, I think someone should say a zinger. Need a zing.
A zinger?
Zing,
yeah, almost here. He's a zinger.
Who calls it a zinger? Is it
no, I don't want to think.
What?
No, not
what?
Yamo.
What?
What do you like better, Cheech or Chong?
That's a question from Ted, right?
Hey, how many people have seen Yamo in this position from this viewpoint before?
Usually it's in his bed, dude.
Ammo, you need to dust that fan, bro. You're an HVAC. Respect the air.
I don't want to think about Yamo positions at the.
What's that? No. Is
that is mini split?
That is duct tape and everything.
Oh man, look at that
What'd
thing.
You tape it up for so it would quit?
If trailer houses were a mini split.
I knew he loved mini splits.
That is the first one. So
see the cathedral ceiling up there above him. He's in a trailer.
What a piece of shit! It still runs
like Bubbles from Trailer Park Boys.
Are you in a trailer, Yamo?
No.
Okay, tell us the truth about one thing. Honestly, truthfully, honestly.
Okay.
How many people sleep in that bedroom?
Just me.
4.
Not BS.
No.
Keep going. Keep going.
What?
What?
You are asking me this because of my air conditioner?
I'm asking you that because you're a Mexican.
Oh, he ended there.
That's true. He is.
A beaner. He's a beaner. That was the perfect time to cut the beaner off.
We should probably get Yamo a genealogy test to be sure, though.
Right before he got it back.
You guys got big plans this weekend? Ted, what are you doing this weekend? Put batteries.